At first, they laughed at the tattoo, a rough black emblem etched along her wrist, half hidden beneath a weathered sleeve. Someone muttered that it looked like a cheap souvenir, a joke meant to scare civilians. She didn't respond. She simply stood there, hood pulled low, listening as the SEAL commander's patience thinned and the room filled with quiet arrogance. Then she reached up and lowered her hood. The commander froze. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening." The air inside the forward operations tent shifted instantly, as if oxygen itself had been stolen. Conversations died, mid-sentence. Boots stopped shuffling. Even the distant hum of generators seemed to fade into the background. The commander's eyes locked onto her face, not with anger, not with disbelief, but with recognition. The kind that comes when memory collides violently with the present. She felt it too, the past rushing forward, faces she hadn't seen in years, missions buried under layers of silence. She had hoped naively that this place would be anonymous, that she could move through the world unnoticed, useful, but unseen. She was wrong. Years earlier, she had earned that tattoo in a desert that burned the skin and stripped people down to their truest selves. It wasn't decorative. It wasn't symbolic in the way outsiders like to imagine. It marked survival. It marked leadership taken when no one else stepped forward. And it marked a mission that officially never happened. The commander cleared his throat, but the sound came out brittle. All around him, operators sensed something was wrong. Respect, the kind not demanded but earned, crept quietly through the room. Someone straightened their posture. Another stopped smiling. They didn't know why yet, but they knew this moment mattered. She remembered the night that made her legend to some and a ghost to others. A convoy pinned down, communications shattered, orders delayed by chaos and distance. She had been the lowest-ranking person their end, the only one still standing when the firing stopped. She hadn't wanted command. She had taken it because people were dying. She thought she'd never see that commander again. She was wrong. Dust swirled near the tent entrance as the wind picked up, carrying the dry smell of sand and oil. Her hands were steady now, though her heart wasn't. Recognition is heavy. It reminds you that choices echo long after the moment has passed. That survival doesn't end when the mission does. Someone began quietly, then stopped. No one finished the sentence. They didn't need to. The commander finally spoke her name. Not loudly, not formally, softly, like saying it too strongly might summon the past again. A murmur rippled outward, spreading through the room as operators connected dots they hadn't even known existed. She could feel their eyes on her, not judgmental, not mocking, curious, awed, searching. She wondered briefly if she should have corrected them earlier. If silence had been a kind of deception, but humility had never meant erasing the truth. It meant letting actions speak when words would only cheapen them. The mission briefing resumed, but now the energy was different. Questions were sharper, listening deeper. When she spoke only when necessary, people leaned in, not because of rank, but because instinct told them she was someone who had already faced the worst and come back carrying answers. Then came the crisis. A patrol overdue, terrain hostile, time bleeding away, voices overlapped, suggestions collided. Fear crept in quietly, the way it always does before something breaks. She stepped forward, not dramatically, not loudly, just enough. Her plan was simple, almost too simple. But it accounted for wind, for terrain, for human hesitation under pressure. It accounted for fear. That was the difference. Soldiers moved as she spoke, not because they were ordered to, but because the plan felt right. Familiar, safe in a way only experience can provide. They moved like a tide, coordinated, precise, trusting, tools struck in unison, signals passed cleanly. When contact was made, it ended quickly. When the patrol returned shaken, but alive, the camp exhaled as one. Relief rippled through the ranks, quiet but overwhelming. Later, applause broke out, brief, respectful, earned. She didn't look for it. She didn't need it. Alone again, she pulled her hood back up, the tattoo disappearing into shadow. She wondered, not for the first time, whether legends helped or harmed the people who carried them. Whether being remembered meant losing the right to be ordinary. The commander approached her before she could leave. He didn't salute, simply nodded. Gratitude, acknowledgement, closure. Bold truth. Strength doesn't announce itself, it reveals itself when it's needed most. As night settled over the base, she walked past flickering lights and quiet conversations, becoming anonymous once more. The tattoo, the hood, the history, all part of her, but not all of her. Because courage doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. And somewhere between shadow and memory, between silence and recognition, she understood something clearly at last. The strongest people aren't defined by what others see when the hood comes down, but by what they choose to do when no one is watching. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more stories of quiet courage, hidden legends, and moments where truth changes everything.